H.A. Howard here, just offering you a little tutorial on how to use a First World War trench map, either because you have an interest in the conflict and want to learn how to use the original maps to navigate around the battlefields, or because you're interested in finding some of the locations mentioned in E.A. Allen's memoir, and which I provided links to in the online version thereof. Now, these maps were essential navigational tools. They're issued in a variety of series and in different scales. Now, these maps have a number of different conventions, some of which we can mention if we actually look at an example. So this is not an original map, it's a half-scale modern reproduction. You can find these for sale in the old areas of the Western Front, tourist shops and whatnot. You can also, of course, find images of original maps online very easily, just with a Google search, or you can go to a dedicated online archive, such as the one at Master University, which has a wonderful collection of aerial photographs and trench maps from the First World War. As I said, they have different series, different scales. There's some slight changes in convention in terms of how things are represented by different colors, but they're all going to have more or less this sort of format through the smaller sheets. And basically the way they work is there's large map sheets that cover the whole area of the Western Front. I'll show you an image of that here. So the way the larger system works is there's a base map. This one I borrowed from McMaster University. And of all the sheets listed here, the ones of most interest to the First World War scholar or buff are the following: 28, 36, 36C, 51B, 57C, and 62C. Each of these sheets is subdivided, and the subdivisions go down until you get to the typical map that an officer, or indeed man, might have in the trenches. Alright, so just to orient ourselves to the map and get a sense of what's going on, first of all, on this particular map, German lines are in red and British lines are in blue. That convention changes in 1918, but it will be pretty obvious to anyone if you're paying attention when you're looking at one of these maps, which are British lines and which are German lines. Just taking a quick look around the map itself. Top left corner, you see the scale. This is a 1 to 10,000. Top center, you see Zillebeek. That's the name of this particular map. Then moving to the right, we have edition number. Then we have the actual reference number for the sheet, or parts of sheets comprising this map. Parts of sheet 28 northwest and 28 northeast, 3 and 4 and 3 respectively here. And then red there at the very top, you'll see the notification for when the trenches were last updated. Moving around the right-hand side now, we see compass deviation, and then that paragraph there just basically describes what I'm going to go through, which is how to plot a map reference on the map. The bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the date the base map was revised. That little map there, again, it provides a graphic representation of the reference number for the sheets that we saw in the top right-hand corner. Then we have the scale, and on the bottom left we have the legend, which indicates man-made features, natural features, and of course military features of interest. So with that broad outline in mind, let's consider a particular reference. So this one is 28 Northwest I-34C31, and that's actually a reference to the Bluff, which is was, I suppose, a prominent topographical feature at the southern end of the Ypres salient. Also a significant location in the history of E.A. Allen in his memoir, because this is the place where he has his first experience in the line, which leads to all his other quite remarkable experiences. So the Bluff is at 28 Northwest, I-34C31. Well, how do we deal with that? Now, we already know what the first 4 numbers and letters designate. That's sheet 28, the northwest quadrant. Now, each quadrant of those base maps is divided into 24 squares, each of which is given a letter designation, A through X. In our case, we're looking for square I, which is on the left-hand side here. Now, each of those squares, the letter squares, is further subdivided into 30 or 36 squares, and these are all given a numeric designation. So in our case, we're looking for square 34. There we go, down the bottom. Each of those squares is further subdivided into 4 quadrants, designated, and this goes reading style, starting in the top left, A, B, C, and D. Okay, so in that case, we're looking for C here. Each of those quadrants is further subdivided by ticks, and there are 10 ticks on each side of those quadrants, corresponding to roughly 100-meter intervals. And basically, they're giving easting and northings. So in our case, we're going to count 3 ticks in from the left-hand edge of the square. That's our easting measurement, and 1 tick up from the bottom of the square. And that puts us right here, as you can see, on the Bluff. So there you have it. Pretty simple way to use the grid system to find a particular map reference. Hope you found this tutorial useful, and if you liked it, please subscribe, and don't forget to check out www.theleavingsofthewolf.com for more information about E.A. Allen's quite remarkable memoir of the First World War.